Hello there. In my last video, I showed you how you would read files from the Excel data from the Excel file and run the test. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can capture the screenshots when you run your automated test. There may be situations where your test is very lengthy and you want to make sure your test went through certain scenarios, it went through certain screens or certain page, and you want to capture those moments. And there may be situation when this lengthy test completes, you want to make sure that completed correctly, and you want to capture the screenshots at the time before the browser closes, so basically the confirmation screen. Or there may be situations when you want to capture your screenshots in case your test gets terminated, right? So if there's any issues with the browser, or if there's any system related issue, or your test just fails for no reason, you want to capture the screenshots. So these screenshots will help you debugging the issue, finding out the root cause of like why the test broke, or it could give you just positive results that test went through successfully, right? So these are the only situations where you might want to think about capturing the screenshots. And this is very important because if you go to any interviews, this is the widely asked questions. So this is mostly asked questions, so you might want to understand how you would take the screenshots and how you would be able to explain them. Okay, in this video I'm going to focus on only screenshots. So for that I am going to use my existing test. So this test is going to go through the home page, and it will click to register link, and as soon as it clicks there, it validates it is in the right page. I'm launching the new page from the Excel file is here. So URL is being defined here in the Excel file format, and then it reads the data from this key to this value. And when you go to that the browser where it launches, this is where it retrieves that URL. That's where it gets launched, and then it will further proceed from this step to navigate. Okay. And then I'm going to add the line for the capturing screenshots. Next thing is the screenshots you need to understand is you need to know about the directory where it is going to be stored, and then you need to know the directory where it is going to be stored, as well as you need to know what format you want to put it in. So the screenshots is basically the screenshot of the WebDriver instance, which is the browser which your WebDriver launched, right? And it is going to capture the screenshots only from the body part. It does not count the URL or header, anything. Okay, so it is going to only capture your URL body. So I'll show you how the typical screenshots would look like. So this is how the typical screenshots would look like. There is no URL, nothing, only this. You only see the body context, and it is not going to scroll down. It goes all the way to the top. At the time it is present at the scrollable, that's only it is going to take. Okay, so there's no zooming thing, nothing. So it is only going to capture whatever screen is at the moment. Okay, so and next thing I wanted to mention here is the naming convention. You need to construct the name, or you need to define what path it is going to be stored, as well as what the file name is going to be. Okay, so when I create a file name, I want to make that unique every time. So I prefer capturing that into date format, so that it is always unique. It goes by seconds, so it is always unique. So even if your test ran immediately, like every second, still you're gonna get new file. Otherwise, if you hard code the value, then you're gonna get the duplicate names, and it will be harder to know what screenshots is from where. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to define first as a file, source file equals this is what you need to know. Text screenshot driver, okay, and then outside of this dot get screenshots as output type dot file. Okay, so this is the line you really need to remember by heart. Let's import this piece here. So IO file, okay, and I need to close that line here. Okay, so this is where basically typecasting that into text screenshots for the driver, and then it gets the screenshots and return that into file format. And the next thing is, let's construct that file, what it would be, the file name. Okay, so string, I need to put, I'm thinking to put that file format into the date format, so that I can capture the date and time that it was taken, and also it is the unique, so it is of the uniqueness. I need to get the date and time format. So date, what I do here is new date. Okay, this new date is going to give me the new date format, standard template dot to string, because that is not the string format, right? Dot replace, right? I want to remove all of the space, right, that it contained, because that date format is not in standard format. So it is in the standard format that has all the spaces. That date comes from the utils package. Okay, so this one I'm only getting because I want to store my file, text screenshot file, into the date format. So date, so file name would look like the date and timestamp, right? I want to get the timestamp captured. That's why I'm just getting the current date. This will give me the current date, and because I need to get the string, I'm converting that into string. Whatever time that is, convert that into string, and replace all of those all spaces into replace all of the spaces. If you go here, if you see here the date, you'll see the date format. Here where you go. Okay, this is the format you will get. Okay, so I want to remove entire space because your file name does not need any space. I don't want to have any space. I want to further construct this also. So date equals date dot replace all. Okay, replace all, and also that simple date format contains the colon. I don't need colon, I want to remove that also. So now this is basically detached. It has no spaces and no special characters inside the file name, which is very important. I want to instead remove this colon with hyphen. Okay, so it will give me some separated lines. So if you go to look at that image once again, you'll see how the file name would look like. Okay, look at this file here, Sunday, December, there's no spaces here, right? 31, 23, something like that, CST, and that's what it is. So I'm converting all that spaces into hyphens. Okay, this is just the format I'm wanting to put it into the file name. Okay, so that it captures the timestamp. Let's go to the next line. Next line, what I want to do here is, after making that, I need to create one file name, string file. Okay, new file. So this is the file that I want that directory to be. Okay, so source, and for this is the directory for these screenshots. I created a folder here. Screenshot is the folder inside source test resources. Okay, test resources. I just created a folder like this. Right click here, and then I did new, and then I did folder. Okay, and that folder I name as screenshots. So those ones I want to get that as a working directory, so I'm just getting that. So that one, let's go, I'm just giving the simple path. So then what I do, let's get that path. So test source test resources. Okay, So that is my file format. I need to put one more line and then plus date. Okay, date is the file name. I want to put that inside this folder, so I say date. Okay, and then what I need to do here is dot get, so canonical path. Okay, so that's what I want. So what this does is, this is 100% absolute path. It is going to generate me the absolute path, and then because I'm giving the current working directory, and that may vary based on different machines, like when you work in a team. So it will just getting this canonical path basically just creates the canonical path for whatever directory it is being run into. Okay, so that will just give you 100% absolute path. Okay, that's what I want to do up to now. Let's move one more step. So after that, I need to simply copy a file dot copy file, right? Copy file, source file. So source file is src, that's my source file, and destination file is so destination file is, I'm just going to say new file plus dot png. I want to put that in the png format. This is not source, this is src. Okay, so this is all I need to do here, and let's do the quick recap. So I have these 4 lines of code. One is text screenshot. I'm basically just creating object source file. That source file is basically the file that is the output format of the driver. And then in these 2 lines, I'm just trying to capture the timestamp, and that's what I am doing here. Capture the timestamp and then replace all the special characters, and just to make the uniqueness of the file name every time it is being captured. So every time your test runs, maybe your screenshots is like running, taking like 5 screenshots in your test, and then every time it is capturing the new test, you want to make sure each of those tests are unique, the screenshots are unique, right? So after that, I am just creating a file path. So okay, creating this file path here into this directory, okay, so that I can store that here. Okay, and then dot get canonical path is going to get me the absolute path. So this is basically just the file path. I could directly write here into the file path and get everything in one line, but I want to get this used so that anybody in our team can use this. Okay, that's all I want to do here, and let's run this test and you will see the results. To run this test, I need to go to home page test, and I'll just right click here, run as JUnit test. Okay, so in this test, basically it will load the URL from the Excel file. The base URL will come from the Excel file, and then it will click to register link, and it will validate that register link is properly navigated by the URL, and then it will capture the screenshot. Okay, it is going to register page, and it is there, and I'm sure the test is completed. And let's go back here. I have it green, which means it is green, right? And if I go to the directory, let's show you the one you want. So here you go. So this is the file that captured the screenshots. If you see the time frame is captured from the current time, and it is everything good, and I am done here. Let's go to quick recap again. Okay, so here these are the 4 lines of code that does entire screenshots. So I have a date and time. This is the file name. Basically that date I'm using only just to get the file name. Okay, let's move that up one step up so that you don't get confused. So only two lines basically you need. Okay, this file name, instead of this file name, let's say you want to say let's say you want to get this as a file name, you're fine to use that instead of date. But I don't want to use every time abcd as a file name. I want that to be unique. That's why I capture the timestamp. And then next thing is you have a source file, and then you have a string file, and then you capture the canonical path in order to construct this whole path from current directory to the full absolute path. That's why you need this. And then you capture the copy file. You copy the file from the location from source, this is the source, and then put it inside the file. Okay, that's all we're doing. So this source already has a file, copy that guy and put it into my directory. That's what this is doing. And then we don't want to write this whole thing inside the test itself, right? So what I want to do here is I need to remove this whole guy. Okay, I want to remove that from here. Instead I want to put that somewhere where I can use this as a global as a util, right? So let me put that inside my common stuff called browser. Okay, so let's put that here. I'm going to create a public getter method, public static void take a screenshot. Okay, and then I'm going to put that whole thing here. Obviously it's going to throw me exception. Okay, so throws exception and then good. So all I have is this is as a method. So now this method I can call from browser.text screenshot and then put that anywhere I want across my project. So this is now part of my util. So it will capture every time, it will capture the screenshots based on the timestamp. So I capture this guy here, and then now I want to put wherever I want. So in my case I'm going to put that here, browser dot, okay, and that's all I want. And here I need to import this guy. Okay, now let's that I will be generic exceptions, so it will be handled. Okay, everything is good here. Let's go back here. Let's format here. Everything is good here too. And then let's run the test again. So now you see the step is very easy. Now you can call this method like this anywhere in any classes, any packages, just like that. You simply need to import the browser. Okay, let's run this test and we should be just good afterwards. Not here, we run here. Run as JUnit test. Okay, so this test completed. You see the browser, it got completed and it has a green bar. And if I go to my directory, I can bring that up, what that get that screenshot as. So if you see here, that screenshot has a new timestamp and it has everything worked as it did before. Okay, so here it is very easy. Now it is just going to use as a util. So just get that method every time you want. You don't need to write this whole thing again and again. Simply write it in one place and then use that as much as you want. Whatever you think it is required, just call this method. Okay, I think this has been very helpful video for you to understand how you would do the screenshots and how you can handle the absolute path. And I hope this has been helpful for you understanding the taking the screenshots. Thank you very much for watching my video again, and please continue to watch my video and subscribe my channel, like my videos, and we will look forward in our next video. Thank you very much.